Okay, welcome everyone to our team call. And tonight, as I said, I'm doing something a little differently. Instead of having a top coach from the wall, a 5-star or above, I thought it would be a nice change to have a new diamond speak. And since you guys have all seen Deirdre and her post, and she's killing it. She's signing up 4 or 5 coaches a week, and she's really, her income has taken off. I'm sure she can give you details on how much, just in the past year she's done this. I know you've probably been coach a little longer than a year, but I mean, really just this year she's like taken off and just skyrocketed. So I'm hoping that she can give you some tips as, coming from a brand new diamond, which is much closer to where you guys are, and stuff that can help you out. So Deirdre, you want to take it away?
Okay. Gotta say I'm a little nervous, stepping out of my comfort zone here. I've been at this a little more than a year. So first thing I'll do is I'll kind of give you a little background about myself, how I got to be where I am today, for those of you that don't know me. The person you see before you is absolutely nothing like the person I was 5, 10, 20, even a couple years ago. I had no self-confidence. Most of my life I was overweight. I was very overweight after my youngest son was born in 2007. I was very shy, very reserved. I hated looking at myself in the mirror. I avoided the camera. And I despised public speaking. Ha ha, imagine that. I always tried to be the person I thought my friends wanted me to be, my husband, whoever was significant in my life. I tried to be who I thought they wanted me to be. So if they enjoyed hunting and fishing, I enjoyed hunting and fishing. So I never really knew who I was or what I was passionate about. And when I went through the divorce in 2009, I really, really struggled because of that, because I didn't know what I enjoyed doing. I had no real hobbies. I didn't know who I was. I picked up smoking and drinking. I quit eating, so I did lose a lot of weight in a very bad way. I went through failed relationships that left me feeling inadequate, like nobody really cared about me. So it was a very dark period of time in my life. I hit rock bottom the end of 2013. It was Halloween of 2013. And at that point, I knew I needed to make some serious changes in my life. I started going back to church. I quit drinking. I quit smoking. And I replaced those bad habits with eating. So the weight started to quickly come back on. In February of 2014, I borrowed Insanity from a friend, which led to Focus T25, a coach, a challenge group, Shakeology, and results, and the rest is history. So that May, I signed up as a coach. Now, for a lot of you new coaches out there that are really struggling to get started, to know what to do, don't feel like you're alone, because I really, really struggled in the beginning. My coach was also a new coach, and I was the very first coach that she had, and she had no idea what she was doing. She's actually now inactive and has been inactive for several months. I have not spoken to her probably in over 6 months. So I was on my own. I felt like I was completely on my own. I struggled finding answers. Where do I go? What do I do next? And I did stumble across an Elite Stronghold training. And the one thing that I took away from that training, I took a lot of things away from that training, but the one thing that stuck with me is a video that I watched. And in that video, the guy who was talking, he made us commit to giving this business 1 year. And I remember vividly at that point, I'm like, all right, I can do this. I can commit to 1 year. 1 year from when I started in May, which would be May of 2015. I'm going to give it till then. Now, failures. I have definitely had them. And I can tell you that the very first challenge group that I ran, it flopped. Complete fail. And the very first clean eating group that I ran, it sucked. Really, really bad. So, I mean, those are just a couple of the major failures I had in my first year. But it didn't stop me. It was about towards fall of last year, a little bit later, Brian Rolka, found me, and he pretty much took me under his wing. And so I consider him my coach. He got me involved in being a leader in his challenge groups on Facebook, which really helped me to understand how to run a challenge group on Facebook. And I was in charge of a specific day, so I got used to how to post and do all of those things. All right, so you guys want some tips on what I have changed, because in February of this year is when things really started to take off for me. All right, so if you want to take notes, go for it. I've got, I think, 6 or 7 tips for you. All right, in February, one of the biggest things, just do it. If you want this business to be successful, it is up to you to make it happen. It's not up to your coach to make it happen. Don't wait for your upline to tell you what to do. It's up to you to find those answers and then to apply it, to go do it. Anybody can be successful in this business, but it is completely up to you to make it happen. Now, number 2, this one I'm sure has been drilled into your head. You've heard it from so many people, and this was a big change for me, was personal development. And that is a vital behavior for a reason. I can tell you that before February, I struggled with this one. I was not consistent. I did not give it 10 minutes of every single day. Some days I didn't touch it. Some weeks I didn't touch it. I was not consistent with listening to the National Wake Up Call. But in February, I knew at that point that I really, really wanted to be successful. A lot of things have happened in my life, and I wanted this really, really bad. My why became huge. And I knew if all these top coaches are telling you to do your personal development, there is a reason they're telling you to do it. So I committed to giving it at least 10 minutes every day. And I found a way that it worked best for me. I have an app on my phone, which is called Player FM, and I put Team Beachbody podcast in that app. So every time the National Wake Up Call is every Monday, I can't get off work and listen to it. So as soon as Beachbody downloads that to the Team Beachbody podcast, I listen to it on my phone. Whether I'm doing laundry, walking around the house, doing dishes, mowing the lawn, put the earbuds in and I play it. And once I've done that, another great thing that I use is Audible on my phone. The app was Player FM is what it's called. It's on my Android phone. So Audible is another app that I use. I actually am taking advantage of the trial membership, and then it's only $15 a month, which is totally worth it. But I downloaded You Are a Badass to my phone. So right now I'm listening to that. Anytime I'm doing anything monotonous that doesn't require much thinking, I put those earbuds in, I listen to it. When I'm on the road, I can plug it into my car, I can listen to it through the speakers. One that I just finished was Go for No, which I really, really liked it. It's a very short one. Definitely, you guys should listen to it. Kind of changes your whole mindset on how you should feel about every time those people are telling you no. It's really good. I highly recommend it. Eat That Frog. Brian sent that one to me. I read it. It was awesome. Compound Effect is another good one. There is a wealth of personal development out there at your fingertips. You just need to make sure you set aside that time each day to read it, listen to it, whatever works for you. Another thing that I did was areas that I struggled in, I find the answers. I go out there and I look for them. Like right now, I want to run awesome challenge groups. So yesterday, I searched on YouTube for videos by top coaches about running awesome challenge groups. And I ran across a YouTube video by Anita Myron, who's one of the top 10 coaches. So I listened to that video, and she had some really awesome tips on running awesome challenge groups. So I shared that with my team. I'm like, hey team, you guys should listen to this video, see what you take away from it, and we're going to work together, and we are going to have some kick-ass challenge groups. All right, another thing. I know you've probably heard this before. You are the CEO of your business. It is up to you to make this business successful. So you guys have to take ownership. You have to, it is completely up to you. And in that, I didn't have a coach to turn to. I didn't have that option. I didn't have anybody to go to. I had no clue what I was doing, and I knew that I had needed to take action, and I needed to go out and find those answers myself. I mean, obviously now I've got Brian, I've got Greg, I've got a great team here that if I ever need any questions answered, I can reach out to them. But typically, I try to go out and find those answers on my own first. And so what this led to is I knew I needed to build my customer base and build trust and relationships. And that is what led to the free fitness and clean eating challenges. Kind of a turning point for me was I joined a free fitness boot camp, and I followed Leah Hinnefeld and Jatana Jackson. They both have two kind of different ways of running their free clean eating and their free fitness challenges. I listened to both of them, and I took little bits of what I liked from each of those. The major thing that I did was I made it happen. I set a date, and I followed through. Because I know so many times we're new, and it's just like we feel like it has to be perfect. We can't do this until we know we've got it right. That's just never going to happen. You have to be willing to fail. You have to be willing to make mistakes, because the more risk that you're willing to take, the more chance at success. So I made it happen. I set that date, I set that goal, and I followed through with it. And it didn't happen overnight. It took a little bit of time. I didn't have near the challengers in my groups in the beginning. I think I maybe had 50 or 60 and not near that many. Okay, maybe more like 100. I don't quite remember. But I did it as an event, and it continued to grow throughout that very first month. But what I was doing in that first month was I was building trust and I was building relationships. These people were seeing that I was in it for them. I was trying to help them see results. So the next month when I rolled it over into a group and I asked all of them to invite their friends and their family members, it grew. And the next month I did the same thing. Like, hey, it's time for a new challenge, a new month. Invite your friends, your family, your cousins, your kids, your spouses, everybody. And I've always made it fun, and I've shared my passion. I post weekly videos, prize videos, and in those videos, I'm sharing motivation. I'm sharing my passion. These people are seeing that I love what I do. I love being able to help them. I love helping them see results. I'm sharing my own journey with them. So they see this every day when I post that day's challenge. I post something motivational every day. You can do this. You guys are rocking this. You guys are awesome. So I'm always keeping it upbeat and encouraging, and let them know that I am there for them. Okay. All right. The fourth tip. Sorry, the third one was the free fitness and clean eating challenges. The fourth tip, goal setting and to-do lists. One of the questions that I ask myself is, what is my next major goal? When do I want to be there? What steps do I need to take each day, each week, and each month to get there? And then write them down. Obviously, when I started this back in February, it was, what was my next major goal? Obviously, it was to become Diamond Beachbody coach. And when did I want to be there? I wanted to be there by the time that I hit 1 year. I committed to a year. I wanted to be a Diamond by that time. And then you take that, okay, what's it going to take for me? How many more coaches do I need to get to Diamond? And I had 3 months. So every day I said, okay, what 1 to 2 things do I need to do today? What 1 to 2 things do I need to do this week, this month? And I wrote those down. Every single day I wrote down 1 to 2 things that was going to help me get to my end goal. And guess what? I did. On my 1 year anniversary as a Beachbody coach, I woke up that morning as a Diamond coach. So not only had I reached my commitment of making it 1 year, but I'd also hit my goal of Diamond. So, but that, I didn't stop there. It starts with Diamond, but it doesn't end there. So I may be at Diamond now, but heck, I'm going for 5-star by Christmas. I'm going to try like heck to get there too. All right, next tip, number 5, the power of positive thinking. Yep, I said it. I'm going to be a 5-star Diamond by Christmas. I'm thinking positive. I know that I'm going to do everything in my power to make this happen. It's a lot about how you believe in yourself. Believe that you will succeed. Not that you may succeed, not that you might succeed, but that you will succeed. Know that no matter what struggles, what obstacles come, you can do this. You can overcome anything. If you want this, and if your why is big enough, you will overcome those struggles. You will get past that, and you will become stronger because of it. You need to believe in yourself, believe in your challengers, believe in your coaches. You need to believe in them just as much as you believe in yourself, that I can do this, they can do this, my coaches can do this. We tend to judge a book by its cover. We tend to look at people and we might think, oh my gosh, I don't know if they'd make a very good coach, or oh, that would be the perfect coach. You need to look at each one of them, treat each one like a top coach, that they can do it. Try to put your judgments aside. I know we all tend to do that at times. So just put that aside and look at everybody. You're going to be an amazing coach. And all your challengers, you are totally going to rock this. You are going to get those results. A lot of positive thinking, being encouraging. You guys have got this. And the last one, number 6, get out of your comfort zone. No, we all like to be in our little bubble and in our little happy spot, but you need to step out of your comfort zone. I have stepped out of my comfort zone, and just when I start to get comfortable being uncomfortable, I'm asked to step out of it again, like Greg asking me to be the guest speaker on this call tonight. I am completely out of my comfort zone here, but that is what it takes. You have to be willing to step out, and the more that you step out and the more that you step out, the more that people see that you are real, you are genuine. Get comfortable with the uncomfortable. I know one of the top coaches said that on a national wake-up call, and it just stuck with me. That is so true. Get comfortable being uncomfortable, because if you want to be successful in this business, there's going to be a lot of times that you are uncomfortable. So, I mean, anybody who follows me on Facebook, you see me sharing so much about myself, and I've definitely come out of my shell from when I first started. But I am sharing my before and after pictures. I'm sharing my struggles when I struggle with nutrition. I'm being honest. I'm letting people know that I am real. I am nowhere near perfect. I am progressing, and I am stumbling, and I'm making mistakes, but I am right there with them. And they're learning to trust me, not just in my free fitness challenges and my free clean eating groups and in my challenge groups, my premier challenge groups, but on Facebook as well. And one of the biggest things is that, like, you're seeing me get all these Success Club points. I'm at like 26 already, and I think my control coach is at like 4. So that's 30 points. And we're just a little over halfway through the month. But the thing is, some of these, I haven't even had to go out sharing my journey. They're seeing me share my successes, my struggles, being real with them on Facebook, and they're reaching out to me. I actually had a current customer of mine, and his wife has joined him. He messaged me a few weeks ago, and he said, all right, since you won't stop talking about it, what is all involved in this 21-day fix? So I had never even really talked to this guy before, but they see that. They may not be liking your posts. They may not be commenting, but they're watching every move that you make. So don't think just because things aren't happening right now that you should stop. Don't stop. Keep going. Keep sharing. Keep posting, because they're out there and they're watching. And another thing, I mean, there's just so many reasons why I absolutely love what I'm doing. There's days that I struggle. There's days that I wake up in the morning and I think, why am I doing this? You know, I could be doing something else. I could be spending my time doing this or that. But then it's days like I shared my 2007 picture when I was at my largest compared to my ending IMAX 30 pictures, my profile picture. I just put that on there today, and I had one girl comment, and this is what she said: you are just awesome and amazing and inspiring. And it pissed me off to hear someone try to derail all your positive attitude and healthy living and sharing with the rest of us. You should be held up as a shining example, not shoved down. You are a blessing to so many of us. And it's those things, because I shared a struggle with everybody. I had somebody try to knock me down on a Friday, and I struggled that weekend, and I shared it on that Monday. And it pissed off a lot of people who follow me. They're like, girl, you don't deserve to hear that stuff. But in this business, we're going to have haters out there. Some people might not say anything, and some people might voice their opinion. It could be a family member. It could be a friend. It could be a coworker that's going to be like, you can't do this. That's a pyramid scheme. I had my sister tell me that this is a pyramid scheme. And boy, that really pushed me to prove her wrong. But I mean, there's going to be people out there that try to bring you down, but you need to rise above it, because it's not about them. This is about you, and this is about what you're doing to help other people. Like when it comes to organization and like, you know, having this little perfect system, I don't have one. So believe me, if I can be a disorganized mess and I can do as well as I'm doing, I really do believe that anybody can do this. And the last little tip that I have is to be the kind of coach that you want to have. So everything that you do, everything that you post, everything that you share, think, is this something that I would want to see my coach do? And that will help you to decide if it's something you should share or not share, or what you should do. But to be the kind of coach that you want to have. Okay, that's it.
All right, thank you, Deirdre. That was great. So now you can go, shoo, that's over with, right? So you mentioned that you want to be 5-star, and that is so cool because there's tons of advantages of being 5-star, just to let everybody know if you're not aware. When you turn 5-star, actually when you turn 2-star, you start qualifying for the bonus plan. So you get a quarterly bonus from Beachbody, which is about $1,000 every quarter. And when you hit 5-star, you get the 2-star bonus plus the 5-star bonus. So the 5-star bonus is around $3,000 to $4,000, and then you get the $1,000 from the 2-star, which is very cool. And you get added to the wall, and you get the opportunity to be an elite coach. So if you hit 5-star, you would definitely be an elite coach. And as an elite coach, you get a bonus of $500 every time you make Success Club. So there's huge advantages to being 5-star, and I definitely need to say that we need more 5-stars on this team. But what are like some specific goals that you're doing to hit 5-star?
Right now, I'm really working on trying to come up with a system of really, you know, I've been focusing on getting challengers is not an issue for me anymore. They're just pretty much flocking to me for some odd reason. But I really want to start focusing on my team and building my team and getting them started right. So like I said, when it's about going out there and finding what your struggles are, finding information, I am searching YouTube. I'm following Melanie Mitro and Anita Myron and all of those top coaches, and I'm finding YouTube videos on how they get their coaches started right. So that is a lot of what my personal development is right now, is trying to figure out what is the best way to get my coaches started right. Being very involved with my coaches in our own Facebook group. I want them to feel like we're equal. We are a team. We're in this together. Let's work together as a team to build each other up and to get everybody, you know, what is your why? Why are you in this? What are your goals? Where would you like to be? What is it going to take? I'm trying to teach them kind of the same things that have worked for me the last few months. I do have 3 of my coaches have gone on. They're having their own free challenge groups. They're starting to see that the benefits of having those groups, it's easier to get challengers. So really trying to set the example and show them how I do it and teach them how to implement that same system or tweak it a little bit to work for them, because what works for me may not work for everybody. But yeah, I mean, just really focusing on my team and building them up so I can get, you know, I know that right now I have 5 on my team that could get to Diamond. So I have no doubt that I can make it 5-star Diamond by December.
And keep in mind that you have like 1 or 2 control coaches, right? So you can get them to Diamond, right? So that's, everybody just keep that in mind. It's not like you have to find 5 potential diamonds, because you already have at least 1 being your spouse and yourself. So that's awesome. Also, you mentioned like the free challenge, like that's when things started to take off. And I'm just going to plug, you know, the training that we have, our free challenge group training, and you took that training, right? That's where you saw Jatana and Leah and others. So if people on this call have not done that training yet, I've just opened it up for everyone. It's self-paced. There's like 14 posts in there. You can see a webinar from Jatana that she mentioned. You'll see Deirdre's webinar in there that she did on how she runs her free groups. You'll see a webinar that I did on how I run my free groups. So if you guys haven't taken that training yet, please sign up for it. And you can see a post that I made in the Engage group. So thanks for mentioning that. Let's see what else I wrote down. Oh, I love how you said that you just did it. You know, you like a lot of coaches will get paralyzed. They'll see like, oh, well, yeah, Jatana runs it this way. And then, oh, Leah runs hers this way. Oh, and Greg runs his this way. And like, they just get in a paralysis of like, I don't know enough. I don't know how to do it or whatever. Like, oh, how do I create an event? You know, I don't know how to do that, you know? And it's just like, you just got to go out and do it, right? You got to do it and you make it your own. It's like I tell people, it's like, jump, you know, just jump. You know, you'll figure out how to fly on the way down. You know, you're either going to crash and burn or you're going to figure out how to fly and you're going to take off and you're going to soar, you know? And even if you crash and burn, what's the worst thing that's going to happen? It's like Deirdre said, you know, her first challenge group or free one was kind of a flop, but you learn from it, right? And then you just carry on and you do it again. So that is awesome. So anyway, let's open it up. Does anybody have any questions for Deirdre? Take yourself off of mute and ask her.
Here. Oh.
Yeah, go ahead.
Greg, can you hear me? It's Jason.
Yes.
Deirdre is first sister in the business. She's on the pyramid team.
Sorry, Jason, you're breaking up a little bit. Yeah, we didn't quite get that. Wait till you get a better reception.
Well, darn.
So who else has a question?
Hi, it's Jill.
Hi, Jill.
Hey, I just had a question about I've been following you on your free groups, and I've watched your videos. Are awesome. You totally are motivating people. How do you, are you doing more stuff offline? Are they reaching out to you like in messages to find out more about the programs and that kind of thing? And how do you pull them into a premier group?
What I do with the free clean eating and the free fitness challenge is I post, which I need to do yet today because I said this morning there'll be a big announcement today, which that's what it is. Day 17 big announcement is going to be my call to action for my next group, which will be starting in the first Monday in July. And there I state, hey, are you looking for results? I can't remember exactly how I state it, but I kind of do the same thing every month because it works. And I give them a link to a Google document, a Google application. They click on that, they fill it out, and then I message them. I reach out to them via either email or Facebook message. And so a lot of it is done behind the scenes and not in the group. Sometimes I'll have people randomly message me, but the majority of it is through the application process.
Deirdre, how long do you typically run your groups for? Is it for 30 days, 14 days? Well, obviously longer than 14. 21 days.
I run the fitness groups for 30 days. I know some people don't have success with the longer groups, but I do. They all make it. Most of them make it through. I think I've got 70 that are still going strong on day 17. 30 days works for them, and they hate to miss any days. So if I did 21, they'd be like, well, what are we supposed to do the next week before you start the next one? So I know some people struggle with the 30, keeping them motivated. But one thing I know Leah talked about was keeping that challenge simple. Don't make it so hard that beginners aren't going to be able to finish. You want to tailor it for a beginner so that from the start to the finish, they're able to complete it. It's not so difficult that only intermediate or advanced people can do it. And then for my clean eating groups, I do 10 days. And those are what work for me.
Okay, well, I guess that's it, unless Jason wants to try again, or did he drop?
Actually, I have a question.
Okay.
Hey, Deirdre, is there a specified amount of videos you do in your challenge groups, or do you find that it is okay to have so many in your challenge group without annoying the challengers?
In the free group, I try to do one each Sunday because typically it starts on a Monday, and so I do 3 prizes in my group. And so the first Sunday I'll do the 3rd place prize, the next Sunday I'll do the 2nd, and then the following Sunday I'll do the 1st place prize. And then the very last Sunday is obviously when I'm going to raffle. Typically it's Sunday. It's the 31st day because it's a 30-day challenge. That's when I'll raffle the names off. So they typically get 4, but then I guess it's 5. Because on day 1 of the challenge I've started, and I just started this, I think last month, is I actually do the challenge and videotape myself doing that first challenge for them and then share it with them. Because I get a lot of, how do I do this? How do I do that? So I'm constantly having to say, well, go to my description. There's a link to all the videos on how to do the exercises. So I started actually completing it myself and videotaping it and then sharing it. So it's about 5 videos, and every once in a while I may feel a little random and motivational that day, so I may share a little extra motivation.
Okay. Thank you.
Do you do the same posts in every challenge group, or do you do different ones each time you do it? Each month you do a challenge group?
Each month I choose pretty much 4 different exercises, and then I add a bonus exercise. This month is mostly leg-related stuff. I've got lateral lunges. I think I've got plie squats. I've got a couple other things. And then the wall sit is my bonus. I give them a bonus that's a little more difficult move so that if they can't make it the whole 30 days, they just drop out. They'll do the other exercises and feel like they completed it. But that more difficult bonus helps the more intermediate, advanced people in my group feel a little bit more challenged. And then each month I change it up. I change the picture. I use the same picture from day 1 to day 30 and the same exercises. And then the next month I choose new exercises, new picture, but the picture stays the same for the whole month.
Deirdre, I have a question.
Okay.
Can you talk a little bit about, other than posting the workouts for everyone to do and doing your videos, what are some other things that you use to keep the group really engaged and engaging with each other and with you?
Are you talking like my premier group? Because the free group I haven't had to. Everybody, it's taken off for me, and I'm sure it doesn't do that for everybody, but I guess for the free group, it's like, hey, there's prizes, and there's just a lot of people that are doing it, and they tend to help each other. They help their friends out, and I'm sure they're doing it behind the scenes. But is the free or the premier group that you're asking about?
Well, both.
Okay. With the premier group, if I start to lose somebody, if they start to fall off a little bit, I'll reach out to them, or I'll tag their name in posts, and I'll just I'll kind of go back to the rules of the group, the engagement. If you really, I remember actually it was your premier group that we did this. It was the very last one that I did with you, where you posted, are you in? Pretty much, you just spelled it right out there. You were honest. It's like, if you guys want to be in this group, if you want to see results, then I want you to comment with, I'm in. And it was kind of one of those very blunt, very honest things, but it's like, I'm here, I'm your coach, I want to help you, but it's up to you to commit. If you want to see those results, you have to commit, you have to show up here. This is what you're expected to do. Show up every day, share your nutrition, share your workouts, share your struggles, share your successes. And then a lot of, I lead by example. I post my daily picture of me working out or my Shakeology and my nutrition. And I share when I even have a bad day. I'm just honest with them. And then the behind the scenes, if they've fallen off for a few days, that's when I message them privately. My free fitness group, I don't do that because there's just too many people. I've got 640 in my group right now. So yeah, I can't keep on top of that.
You don't comment on everyone's posts? Thank you, Deirdre. Thank you.
Yep. Okay, so what do you do with people that want to be part of the challenge groups, but they want to do their own thing? Well, I've made it very clear. I make it clear in my call to action. I make it clear when I respond to them that the requirement is that you have to use a Beachbody fitness program and you have to drink Shakeology. There's pretty much no ifs, ands, or buts about it. I have people, well, I drink my own protein shake. I drink an Isogenics, or I drink this kind of shake. And it's like, I'm sorry, but this is my business. This is what I do. I believe in Shakeology. I'm not saying anything that you're doing is wrong or it's bad, but this is what I do and it's what I require in my groups. And I try to encourage them, hey, just give it a try. If what you're doing is not working, or if you want to wait a month or two and see if that's going to work for you, that's great. But if it doesn't, I'm here. You can give it a try at that point.
Deirdre, I've got a question.
Okay.
This doesn't have to do with the groups, but like say that you have someone who's interested in 21 Day Fix and joining your premier group, but they don't want to do the Shakeology and they just want to do the program. Where do you put those people?
I have a general accountability group, and it does pretty good without any of my interaction. Occasionally I'll check in and like people's posts, but I'm just not very involved in it. But I put them in a general accountability group, and there's a few people that will encourage, and some of my coaches will go in there and they'll encourage people. But I just don't give them as much of my time. But it still gives them the opportunity to have that feeling of what a challenge group is about. And anytime that I post my call to action in my free groups, I also post it in my general accountability group. So at least they're seeing that that's still an option if they ever do. And since my coaches they always share in the general accountability groups, so they're seeing that Shakeology post every day by each of them. I do occasionally have those people in there that are like, hey, I want to try out Shakeology. You guys all keep swearing by it. So they may not want it now, but who knows, maybe in the future they will. And congratulations on your baby.
Oh, thank you.
Hi, Deirdre. This is Lynn Shook.
Hi.
Hi. I wasn't sure if you could hear me. I was wondering, how do you get so many people in your free group? Are they all your friends, or are they friends of friends, or do you ever boost your event? How do you get that many?
I've actually gotten away from using my like page. I still have it, but I haven't touched it in a very long time. I don't boost ads. I haven't messed with it because it doesn't work for me. Like I talked about who I am, I don't really have a niche because I never really found out what my true passion is. But now I know my true passion is fitness and nutrition, but I find that my personal page works well. So no, I don't boost the ads. What I do primarily is like I started with a public event, and I invited all of my friends to this event, and I explained in the description on the name of it, free, in the picture, free. So it really stood out that this was a free challenge, invited all my friends. In the description, I explained exactly what moves, what exercises, what it was all about, YouTube videos to how to do them, modified options for those that couldn't do all the exercises. And that really built momentum because it may not have started with a whole lot of people, but because it's an event and because it's public, all of their friends saw it. And I asked them to invite their friends. So even though I maybe invited 300 some people and only 50 people joined, they also invited another 300 people and 50 of those friends joined. And then over time, probably for the first week, 2 weeks, people kept joining and jumping into the event. So when I went to go into a private group with it, they most of them followed me. Most of the ones that finished the first challenge as an event, they followed me into the group. And then I set up another event for the next challenge. I invited all of them. I invited all of my friends. I asked them to invite their friends, more family. And that's how it grew. And I always asked them to send me a friend request. And typically my very first event, I had over 100 friend requests. My very first time I put it into a group, I had another over 100 friend requests. And it's just kept going. I mean, I'm to the point now I keep getting friend requests all the time, even during when the group's going on, when it's not going on. So that's kind of how it's built. But I've just always make sure you invite everybody. I can't express that enough. So that's how I did that.
Okay, great. Thanks.
And also keep in mind, guys, like I said, her whole webinar, hour-long webinar on how to run her free group is in our training. So, you know, a lot of these questions are answered just by watching that webinar. So any final questions before we wrap up?
It's Jason. Can you hear me now?
Yes, we can.
Awesome. Hey, Deirdre, is your sister a believer yet? Is she in the network yet?
She's not in the network, but she is definitely a believer. She is actually the reason I became Insanity certified. I was visiting her in Minneapolis one weekend, and I brought my Insanity DVDs with, and so she was working out with me, and she said, you know, you really should teach this. And then I looked into becoming an instructor, and voila. So, yeah, she believes in it now because she's seen the success that I've had. She's not, but she's gonna be. She doesn't know it yet, but she will be.
She will be your next diamond, right?
Yes.
All right. Well, thank you very much. And I will post the recording for anybody who wants to watch it again or who missed it. So tell your coaches. They definitely want to check it out. All right. So thank you again.
Thanks, Deirdre.
Thanks, guys.